Welcome back to this story. President Trump is slamming Maryland's Democrat leadership and Governor Wes Moore for what's being called one of the largest sewage spills in U.S. history, now poisoning the Potomac. Fox News White House correspondent Aisha Hasni is at the White House with the latest. Aisha, this is a deeply concerning story. What's happening now?
The president today said that this is the responsibility of D.C., Virginia, and Maryland. They have to clean it up, and if they need federal help, he's willing to help them if they ask nicely. In a Truth Social post today, he said, if they can't do the job, they have to call me and ask politely to get it fixed. The federal government is not at all involved with what has taken place, but we can fix it. He goes on to remind officials that FEMA isn't being funded right now because of the partial government shutdown. You'll remember Democrats refused to fund the Department of Homeland Security until they get some major concessions and reforms to ICE. So here's what went wrong. Last month, a sewage pipe interceptor collapsed in Cabin John, Maryland. It released about 240 million gallons of sewage into the Potomac River. That interceptor serves about 500,000 people. Now, most of the spill was stopped about 4 days later. The president, though, blaming all of this on Democrats.
I don't like the job that Wes Moore's doing. I don't like the job he's doing at the bridge. I don't like the fact that he did that horrible, with the pipes at the Potomac, and it's not doing the job. They got to do it, and I'm gonna have to get the federal government involved in getting it fixed because he can't fix anything.
Governor Wes Moore reacting today to the president, saying, Mr. President, the spill is basically contained. So could you approve the FEMA funding to help Western Maryland rebuild after the historic floods last year? Secretary Noem, tagging you here, too, for good measure. Thank you for your attention to this matter. No response yet from the president or Secretary Noem, but we shall see if he speaks to the press today and has any more comments towards the governor.
Basically contained is not contained. Thank you so much, Aisha. Good to see you. Now listen to this.
It's kind of rich, to be honest with you, to watch so many of them having flown off to Munich, to talk about national security on the world stage, but yet failing to fund our own here at home.
I sure hope that we can, but for me, I was the only Democrat that voted to refuse to shutting the government down. And I reminded even the director of ICE in a hearing just on Thursday that this shutdown would not impact the functionality of ICE, that they have plenty of money after the big, beautiful bill. So why shut this down? You can want to reform ICE, and I do, but that's not going to have the impact. But you're willing to shut down all of those very important parts of DHS that you just listed there. That's always wrong. And now why? Here we are, and I'm not sure how we're going to come back online.
First, that was Senator Katie Britt on Democrats flying to Munich to talk about national security when they shut down the government and shut down U.S. Homeland Security. And that was Senator John Fetterman saying their shutdown is pointless. It doesn't impact ICE. ICE already has funding, so why shut down DHS? Let's welcome back to the show podcast host Ben Ferguson. Ben, what's your reaction to this? Because now FEMA workers are working without pay to stop that large, huge raw sewage spill into the Potomac River. It's been doing the spill since January 19th. Isn't that the inequality Democrats keep talking about? People working without pay?
Of course, but this is virtue signaling, and you got to understand, if you're a Democrat now in the Marxist Socialist Communist Party of AOC, then you have to virtue signal that you hate law enforcement. And so you get to go back to your district and say, I shut down the government, and I went after ICE, and I went after the Department of Homeland Security, regardless of how many people's lives you affect, because that is now the Democratic Party. There is no sanity left. You have these extremists, and they are the ones now that are running that party. You look at what's on the screen right now, and I thought the Democratic Party was the party of the environment, right? Aren't they the Green New Deal party? You have the biggest raw sewage spill in the history of this country happening right now. We hear that it's going to take maybe 9 months to get this thing under control. The president of the United States of America is now talking about this, going, what are you guys doing with mismanagement here? How is this even possible? And so, again, this is also diversion from that, right? Hold on a second. We hate ICE, and we're fighting against that, and we're shutting down the government. No, do your job. The American people elect you to actually not shut down the government, to do your job. And this sewage is a perfect example of Democrats'
What you're saying
mismanagement.
is, this Potomac raw sewage spill is going to last through the midterms. ICE is already, realigning itself. But that's going to be in the headlines for the midterms. So this is going to be what voters see in blue states. We hear blue state Democrats are really worried their blue states are going to turn purple red because of things like this. When the far left bullies and shuts down, the DHS because they're not getting what they want and they're not doing any reasonable negotiations. But then you have this massive ecological disaster on their watch.
Yeah, and this, I hate, by the way, when things like this happen. It's bad for everyone involved. But Republicans are going to have to sit there and say, look at this. This is what the Democratic Party gives you. They give you chaos and anarchy, and they can't even do the basic things of a government. It goes back to the same point they're making in Minnesota. Look at the waste, fraud, and abuse. So it's either waste, fraud, and abuse or raw sewage in your backyard. Which one is the Democratic Party going to run on? Because I look at this and I think most Americans see it and they say, I want a safe and secure border. I do not think that ICE are some sort of terrorist organization, as the Democrats have described them as the Nazis over in Munich this week. That's literally what Gavin Newsom was saying, and Barack Obama as well. And now you've got sewage. Like, you guys are in shambles, and the Republicans have to show that.
Got it. Ben Ferguson.